All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Chart. Today we today we're looking at a new game, uh, LACHESIS or ATROPOS, or LACHESIS v ATROPOS. I've seen it listed as both. Starts off with the content warning. So let's please be advised. This VN contains violence, death, cults, monsters, alcohol abuse, and then more specifically, some spooky stuff. But beyond that, I don't know much about the game. I know that there are two love interests, both of which are female. I think there's only two. There might be more. That's what I saw when I looked at it briefly. Okay, there's no extras. Turn this down a little. I saw that there was a whole bunch of original tracks for this game. At least I believe they're made originally. Oh, it also has a photosensitive mode. I don't think I need that, but it could be nice. A lot of accessibility options. Always good to see. I assume the extras will unlock when we have CGs in the gallery, something along those lines. But for now, let's just jump right into it. Shades of thin black lingered between the passengers, walking through the low hum of the engine and the whir of closing doors. I watched. People of various forms whose paths might only intersect once with mine here at this moment. I gazed at them in the secrets of their hearts. He hated her, she hated him. They were hated by someone beyond this enclosure, lightly with apathy, darkly with furor. Former gray most called dislike. 1 second. I'll bring this down to match the music. Okay, so our character can see who hates each other. I had an advantage over the typical people watching enthusiast. Professional career choices aside, I was born with eyes that saw strings. Visible lines ran between their bodies as they began to bicker softly, hurrying away. These were strings of black, strings of hate, a convenient tool that only I seemed to see. Not red or blue, not faith nor death. I saw a color that reflected no light. Love the writing in this. I notice our main character has heterochromia. I wonder if it's just a choice to show visually that her eyes are different, or if that's a literal connection between the two. Perhaps innocently insane. Reality had many times corroborated my eyes' expectations, empirical evidence towards the black strings of hatred. A light sigh escaped my lips. Relief. Everyone was as usual. Those who hated strongly had strings, those who hated rarely had strings. Humans were creatures of emotion. As the train started to move, my luggage shook lightly in the overhead, and the scenery through the windows blurred. A stranger sat in the seat across from me. Hello. You there with the mismatched eyes. I don't recognize your face. Travelers are rare this time of year. Are you a local? Most folks in the train are from around these parts, but you seem new. This was the countryside. Not so rural that the trains were devoid of people, but close enough that I spotted a number of rice paddies in the blur of scenery. I was going to a town, small and a little remote, but of great importance. Another transfer away. I'd never visited this place before. Maybe she would have recognized my mentor, Shoko, the reason I was on the train. I'm visiting from the city. Taito, specifically. What leads you here? What do you do? I'm a private investigator. Freelance job, although I often work on cases with law enforcement. Just the usual matters, not much to talk about. Murders, kidnappings, grudges with bloody outcomes. Difficult to talk about in public. I specialized. Is there a case you're investigating all the way out here? No. Just vacation. You have to take them when you get them. It's a bit harder to choose the right time when self-employed. Personal matters came up, so I had to take time off work. Things happen. You chose a good place to visit. There's lots of tourist spots in the area, even if it's off-season. The hot springs are quite nice. Right? I wish I could stay longer. My schedule is up to me, but the wallet not so much. You're from the area, right? I have a friend who asked me to send her regards to a Mikami family. Do you happen to know anything about them? Mikami? Oh, the wealthy family from the next town over. They used to be very involved with local affairs, but I'm not too familiar with them. Eccentric, but well-liked, seems to be the general consensus. All right. Mikami Itoha. I wanted to find a missing person. Shoko is dead, so I have to fulfill her last wishes. Okay. And I did need a vacation. Okay, so it's not it's a personal business. We are on a case, but it's just us, which means we will not have support from the local law enforcement. Always a fun setup. Okay, this is my stop. I handed her a business card. Hell yeah. I mostly do business in the city, but if you have anything you'd prefer a private investigator for, please do send my office a call. Have a good vacation. Thank you. Even the stranger had strings. Without speaking a word, I wondered who she hated and who hated her. How did we meet again? All right. My heart raced to my marred chest for a little box with some... Some of these lines I'm having trouble understanding. I'm not sure why that is. My heart raced in my marred chest for a little box with some clothes and a laptop inside. I don't. Seeing the door still open, I lighted the train with no one behind me. I hurried through the station to catch another train, barely passing through the doors on time. Quietly thanked the inventor of luggage with wheels. Okay, that one's a weird one, but it does make sense. After a peaceful but rather empty ride, I waited at the station until a local taxi arrived. With another uneventful ride spent looking at the scenery and sky, I reached my inn. Paying the taxi driver, I stepped out of the car and took in a deep breath of fresh air. Due to an unfortunate series of events, I spent much too long in the hospital this past year, some of it not even conscious. I liked to think that I put back on some muscle with physical therapy, but miracles were miracles for a reason. Here I was. I'd booked a pricey room with its own private hot spring at this Japanese-style inn, knowing soaking in a public one would be difficult regardless of other guests. All right. Nice backgrounds here. Silhouette of a character. Ooh, only one thin gray string. You have no enemies. I have a booking for Shirasagi Mana. You're right on time. It would be really funny if you could visibly see the strings on the sprites. Let me help check you in and get you to your room. I filled out a paper at the front desk, making idle talk about my trip here. She led me through the hallways of the inn to a spacious tatami-floored room where I'd be staying for the duration of my visit. Helping me set my luggage down, the innkeeper showed me around the room and the location of the private hot spring. Shoko recommended this inn to me. She mentioned that she worked here for a few years when she was younger. We were co-workers in Taito. A melancholy look flickered across her face. Of course, the person we were talking about had passed away. I'm happy she remembered this place, even after moving to the big city. Did she ever mention her hot springs' therapeutic properties? Oh? The water comes natural from the mountains, you see. Okay, hell yeah. Alright. Dinner was at 6. I booked a special meal. You are spending a lot of money. You're gonna run out. Shoko also mentioned... Ooh, from my jacket's pocket, I retrieved an old photo dated to over a decade ago. Mikami Itoha. She's missing. She disappeared in this town. While Shoko was here? Shoko was more than a co-worker, more than a mentor, but a dear friend. She was the one whose little gray cells I trusted to share in the piecing together of gruesome and sometimes not so gruesome puzzles. That should be fine. Very loud considering I have it so low. On her deathbed, she lamented her inability to find Itoha, and I had consoled her, giving it up as an impossible case, just like many others. After towing the bank of the Sanzu River, I had a feeling I should at least try to fulfill that final wish. A visit, a vacation, but in the place where Itoha had once been. Concluded that I would do an investigation under another guise. At the very least, I'd find a few hints, puzzle pieces to lay on her grave so that she could put it together if I couldn't. So regarding Itoha, is she still in town? I'm afraid she passed away a while back. I see. Family members held the funeral privately, but the rain was so heavy that day I still remember vividly. She's buried in the town cemetery. Okay. So, the public story is that Itoha has died. Shoko has reason to suspect otherwise. But did she tell us? What information did she give us? Was Itoha dead? Alright, we're going to the cemetery. Ooh, hello. Blindfolded. Deep in empty thoughts, I tripped into a human figure and nearly stumbled into her arms as I righted myself clumsily. Sorry. It's okay. Itoha, a girl who looked the same. Oh, so she looks like the girl in the photo. But if she's the same age, then she can't be. Nice to meet you, Detective. How the hell do you know that? You know me? Oh, okay. People been talking. Small town. A sickly detective coming to enjoy the hot springs? A tourist in the off-season? You're not that hard to recognize as a visitor, I don't think. News spreads fast in small towns. You might call them rumors. Not completely untrue. I am a private investigator staying at an inn with hot springs. As for the sickly descriptor, I'm not so sure about that one. That's all the better, isn't it, Miss Healthy Detective? Speaking with a bright lilt in her voice, the girl before me made expressions quite unlike the still face in Shoko's photograph. How surreal the same face could convey such different emotions. As I observed her, she made a motion to leave. Can I ask you one question? Hello? There's a little noise when I hover over it. I don't think saying the name outright is necessarily a good track, because we don't want it to be obvious what we're doing. Let's go for a person who looks similar to you. Do you happen to have a relative who looks extremely similar to you? Is this how city people flirt? We've only just met, but I'm flattered. I wonder if you've met my sister. Okay. She has a sister. You're very pretty, Detective. How can you can't see me. You can't see me, though. Don't get caught up in trouble, okay? Thank you. She was pretty. Priestess. Someone's calling for the priestess. See you around, Detective. So can she see me even though she's got the blindfold on? She did say that we're pretty. So I can assume from context that her sister looks similar to her. However, I think most people's sisters do. Oh, hello. I love this. Are you dateable? A woman of indistinguishable age. Perhaps visitors stood out more than I thought. I apologize for disturbing you on your walk. I wanted to welcome you to town. Please call me Keeper. Not a name. I'll be in the care of the townspeople during my trip, so I should apologize for troubling everyone by visiting outside of tourist season. Oh no, we merely do as we should. I hope you'll enjoy the visit. What kind of keeper are you? A beekeeper? I'm not aware of the duration of your stay, but our local annual ceremonial dance is occurring in a week. Hell yeah, I'd love to dance. I'd love it if you got a chance to see the thread-cutting sword dance. I would love to see that as well. I will be staying for a week. An autumn festival dance. The date is defined at the start of the year, so the season varies. You never know when what the gods want to see and when. Alright, so it's a religious small town. Maybe it's fate you came here now. Tell me how many strings this woman has. I want to always know, as soon as I see a character, I want to know how many people hate them. If our protagonist can see it, I should also see it. Double checking my in-booking in my head, I found that I would stay long enough to view the dance. Hell yeah. She made a slight glance at my eyes. One was blue, one was gold. Heterochromia in its rarity couldn't help but be eye-catching. In fact, she was polite enough not to comment. She has red eyes, so equally unusual. Oh, hello. The moment her gaze slipped across the golden eye, I realized she had no strings. Nice, nice, nice. You love to see it. People who didn't have black strings, thin or dark, light or heavy, existed. They were only, in my opinion, rarer than two-color eyes. A buzzing noise chirped in my ears. Okay. Oh, I was tuning out. My bad. There's a gathering this evening as well. We must have been talking about another sort of event. Oh, nice. She took out a note card and pen, jotting something down in immaculate handwriting, while holding the stiff paper atop her palm. This woman has dateable vibes, but she isn't in the screenshots I saw, so I'll have to just find out. Here are the address and directions to the shrine. I also don't know her name. Maybe the beekeeper isn't dateable. I took the paper with both hands, read it over, and tucked it away in my pocket. She hadn't even written down the time. Makes sense. Most seem to visit shrines or temples for holidays or vacations, keeping an altar at home. Preferred it that way. Perhaps this was some sort of pre-ceremony gathering, or perhaps the local religion was one with such popularity that frequent gatherings happen. I had not been listening. I'll come visit. Nice. We'll see you this evening. Okay. Ooh, hello. We're at the ceremony. The dirt looks like cloth draped over the earth. Don't know if that's intentional. There's no grass here. Tombstones cover the ground with familiar tall rectangular blocks. Most are family graves, the surnames of lineages etched into stone. Beneath the ground are the deceased's cremated ashes. It's gonna look mad strange for a visitor to be showing up and heading immediately to this cemetery. People are going to wonder who I know that died. Coffin-style burials were rare in this country. Oh, okay, they're cremated mostly then. Of course, I'm not a doctor. My particular form of science did not need a whole body. Red like gray strings floated in my vision, indicating to me deaths in a particular family in the last century. Grudges to and from the dead. Oh, cool. Okay. Interesting. So, the strings still go to their ashes, or do they go to the tombstone as the last memory of where they are? Difficult to know. They faded slower, much slower than a body rotted. Or maybe only the ones that were buried. Searching for Mikami. 3 and God. Is it this one right here? Or these both have 3. I think that's Kami. Do people typically have the kanji for God in their names? There the Mikami family grave stood before me. Around it were an array of individual graves, some with plots large enough to fit a body and coffin underneath. These two were marked Mikami with the addition of personal names. Itoha. I wouldn't recognize that kanji. But I think only these two graves are Mikami's. Quickly found Itoha's grave. A stone with her name. Ooh, actually, this pillar looks like it might just be marking a section, so maybe this is Itoha. Itoha? No strings. Okay. Even though she died within the last decade. So either she didn't have anybody who hated her or that she hated, or there's no body in there. Pure-hearted humans were rare. Those people who didn't hate and weren't hated. They basically didn't exist. Meeting one was enough for a day. Was Itoha such a person as well? The grave could be empty. Are you here right now? The grave didn't respond. They usually don't. We've never met before, but you should remember Shoko. She remembered you. Shoko cared about you. I'm sure if you're not down there getting reincarnated with her, she's still worrying about you. I placed my hands together, giving a short prayer to pay respects. Shoko could have been wrong. Itoha could be truly dead. The line between missing and dead was often not a line at all. In fact, if she's been missing for this long, she's for sure dead. Then again, this is a dating sim. So, who knows? That she liked her conspiracy theories didn't give me confidence. Regardless, I'll tell her what I find out. Check the time. I could return to the inn or stick around longer. I'd like to linger, but do I have to linger in the graveyard? Can I go somewhere like a cafe? There was a sound when I clicked that. Weird road indicator. Given that I had taken a walk here already, I decided to linger for a few minutes more. I walked past Itoha's tombstone and took a look at the other Mikamis, taking note of the dates inscribed on the stones. There was only one buried per generation. Okay. Perhaps the Mikami family used a criteria to decide who received their own plots. For example, only the eldest could have a special grave. Perhaps they simply had a thin bloodline, their name passed down painstakingly by each singular heir. Hello. That is actually a really cute way to do it, but it does make you look tiny and this tree gigantic. How big should you truly be? These gravestones... Impossible to know. She does look a little small, but maybe it's just that the tree is drawn too big. It's a very fun visual. Priestess? I'm not gonna shout across a cemetery. I departed. Well, I saw her at least. Passed through the front and greeted the innkeeper. Dinner was sumptuous. Beef, more expensive than my entire meat budget for 2 months, melted on my tongue. Apparently the cuts came from local cows. Why are we spending so much money? Just get a normal room. It's dark now. We are heading towards the place that key the bee. I'm gonna keep calling her a beekeeper just because I like to. She's probably not. She probably is like a spirit keeper or something. There's already a crowd. Was I tired from traveling? Oh, hello. Is this the woman or is this her sister? We don't know. The woman in the blindfold probably wasn't actually blind. Maybe if she needs to see at night, she wore it. No, I don't know about that. It's probably some spiritual reason. But she did mention having a sister, so this could be her or this could be the other one. She moved her hands in a series of motions as if cutting an invisible something. The townsperson made an expression of gratitude. The girl. Golden eyes. I have one golden eye. The shining color the same as my left eye. Another term for eyes of this color was fairy eyes. She had pretty eyes, striking even from a distance. At the front, she cut and finished. People made a short prayer that I watched silently without participating in. The quiet, formal part of the evening ended, and the townspeople around me started setting up an after-party. I do like the, even though they're all just faceless people, that there's still such a variety in silhouettes. Like, these characters were drawn and designed and then just filled in with black. But I think that's really cool to actually make them visually distinctive, even if they're just filler sprites. Like bees to honey, maybe the beekeeper thing is apt. A whirlwind of people greeted me. Hell yeah. Kind faces asking curious questions about the big city. How I'd been liking the town so far, recommending shops and other locations. Stumbling over my responses like a newborn fawn over its legs, I was instantly defeated. Eventually, I got a chance to ask my own question. Who was the girl in the front? She's one of our priestesses. One of, so there's two. Maybe more. A pair of sister priestesses. Did the keeper mention the upcoming ceremony? That lass is really good at getting guests to come. Our priestess will also be performing the thread dance. Okay. Nice. Last year's was with 2 girls. This year's going to be only 1. Wonder how they'll change it. 2? Oh, okay. The other priestess can't perform anymore, so that might be the one with the blindfold. Maybe something happened to her, she got sick. They're both good girls. Don't forget, you old codger. To start with, before we had 2 priestesses, the sword dance was always 1 person. Okay. So they modified it to allow for both priestesses, and now they have to modify it back. I never knew my grandparents. Alright, fair. Small town, old people. That is how it goes. There she is. I love the, low-cut t-shirt under a blazer. Classic look. I weaved through the people around me towards her, but she was gone. Oh, there's an open door. You shouldn't. Ooh, I'm curious, though, if a game gives me an option, but not yet. I can't get too carried away. There you are. Hello. My good friend. I'm glad you could make it. Oh, because she doesn't have strings, she can sneak up on me easy. Funny. How has your evening been? If I remember correctly, when we met earlier, you were on the path to the cemetery. Did you visit? I visited in place of a friend. Did you notice the Mikami section? I was there. Okay, tell me about the shrine. Over a century ago, worship has been in great decline in the region. Thanks to the cooperation between the Mikami family and the original shrine head, family energy was re-injected into the shrine. One part was certainly financial, but the other was spiritual. The Mikami bloodline is said to house an essence of the gods. Hell yeah, love to hear it. That's why members are buried intact without cremation. Okay, interesting. So they're all live? They're not live burials. That's horrifying. They're all full body burials. Over time, the 2 families became one and the same under the Mikami name. The kanji has... Oh! If they're said to actually house the gods, it makes sense that they would have Kami in the name directly. So yeah, I guess that is meant to be unusual. Our character didn't comment on it, but... Is the priestess also from the Mikami family? She is, the youngest generation. I'd love if young people like you would take interest in the shrine. Alright, how old are you? Tell me. 40? 50? 70? If you have a chance, you can talk with the priestess, or if you'd prefer, ask me your inquiries. I couldn't discern her age. Yeah, me neither. It's the white hair. She doesn't look old. She looks pretty young, but then again, this is anime. That's generous of you. I am but a keeper for the gods. Okay, there we go. God keeper. Townsperson appeared and whispered into her ear. I'm afraid I'm needed for something. Please enjoy the evening. Can I date the God keeper? Hello. Good evening. The entire evening she's been moving around. I just barely caught her for a moment. Hello. You're the visitor. To her, I was but a guest of the town. To me, she could be an important source. I found again her similarity to Mikami Itoha. She also held herself in a different way than the languidness of Shoko's target. Her eyes really were gold, not a trick of the light. My tongue loosened unintentionally. You have golden eyes. Yeah, fairy eyes. It's a term from another country that refers to golden eyes, eyes that can see the unseen. Bold opening line. I wondered what she saw, if she saw anything different from what I saw, from what normal people saw. I had once been told about fairy eyes, that my left eye gave me my ability. In case you also have one. One blue, one gold. You have pretty eyes. Thank you, that's what I meant to say. You do. You have pretty eyes. Very cute. Okay. What does a priestess for the shrine do? You preside over ceremonies and maintain the shrine. Keeper also takes a role in these matters, but priestesses are closer to the power of the stringless god. Stringless? Alright. Stringless, yeah? Seems important. I tried to imagine the god of the local religion as I jotted down a note of it on my mind. Other thing of note, if we're counting eyes, Godkeeper has red eyes. What does that mean? Stringless god? Yes. She made a distracted swish of her head. Regarding ceremonies, I will also be performing the thread-cutting sword dance next week. Oh, her sister's here. They're twins. Okay, so they are meant to be identical. Was she in some sort of trouble? I assume she's injured or ill. If you have time, I invite you to watch the dance. And she left. Are the sisters on ill terms? Alright, back at the inn. Hot spring. Nice. I wonder if the backgrounds are drawn specifically for the game. They're very high production value for a free game. So I wonder if these are assets they got from somewhere. I'll have to check again. My body was stitched together, covered in scars from the incident that left me comatose for weeks. I had no choice but to book a private one. Oh, fair. Submerging myself up to below my shoulders, I felt warmth seep into my bones. I also poured myself a small cup of alcohol for a different kind of warmth, sipping the cool drink and feeling it burn. Now then, what did you find today, Mana? Some girls you like. The local religion worshipped the stringless god. The priestess made motions of cutting, as if cutting strings. Okay, so yes, it's a very thread-heavy religion. I wonder if it's the same kind of threads. Oh, what if it is the same kind of threads, and the ceremony is to cut the threads, basically removing those feelings of hatred. That could be why our innkeeper has only one thin thread, and why the godkeeper has none at all. I don't remember if they commented if the priestesses had any. A major part of the shrine was the severance of strings. It wasn't black strings today. Okay, I guess we would have noticed if... I mean, we weren't right up at the action. But our girl probably would have noticed if somebody was literally cutting a string that she could see. So maybe we can only see black strings because we only have one gold eye, but the priestesses can see all sorts. Shoko had never mentioned the stringless god. In fact, Shoko rarely spoke of her hometown at all, and her yearning for Itoha. From the outside, the shrine appeared like any other local religion, but it gave me the same gut feeling as a New Age cult. Why? No reason. This could be as simple as the fervor of prayer. At worst, I could apologize to them mentally for calling them suspicious. With priestesses who resembled Itoha, more likely than not, Mikami Itoha was also involved in the shrine. If it's a family business, family shrine, then it makes the most sense. So is she dead or alive? If they literally cut strings, even if we didn't see them cut a black string, we have met multiple people with few or no strings, and we know they have string-related business in this shrine. So Itoha could be in that grave, and she just genuinely didn't have any black threads. If she was alive, she likely didn't up and abandon her identity. There's another factor, the shrine. Still complicated. Alright. Sleep came quickly. A dream. New. I can't see what that one says. Finale? Terrorist coffee. Or Taboo's coffee. This one is a Digimon up here, this red thing. A street in Tato, 2 blocks away from my office. Are we gonna dream about what happened to us? The weather resembled that day. It was like any other day. Unmemorable clouds, unmemorable sky, unmemorable temperature. Just a normal day. No one here. Bam! Got hit by a truck. Oh, hello. A figure appeared before me, but he had no strings. Faceless man? No, I just didn't remember what he looked like. I knew his face from the police reports. Was he clean-shaven or disheveled? What sort of expression was he making? I don't know. He didn't seem human. My memory of that time is covered with a dark veil. It was the expected result from being assaulted, better yet brutalized, on hard asphalt streets that a comb was the only solution. He had a knife. Laws don't matter to madmen. He used a knife to stab me. Okay. And he had no strings. Nobody hates this guy. We had no relation, not even tenuously, through cases. He just lost it one day and decided to play kill the detective. He didn't hate me, he just wanted to kill me. I heard screams, but no one was here. Whose screams? Mine? My dream throat was too busy bubbling up with red to make such coherent sounds. Okay. Interesting. I came out intact thanks to the doctor's hard work, but... wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hoped that the food truck wouldn't stop coming to the street. I really liked their shrimp pad thai. But like Julius Caesar in the Senate, counted to over 23 a time or two on other nights. Okay. I don't know how you survived, but woke up. Yeah, that's really fucked up. Probably a little traumatized. Okay, it's early morning. Only slept a few hours. Let's not go back to the cemetery. That seems crazy. Okay, no, it's the same noise for both. It would be interesting. Little subtle differences like, a lot of the times I see visual cues in VNs. If you're choosing a choice that has that leads to a specific route, I don't often hear audio cues for it, but that could be an interesting way to do it. But no, that was the same sound for both. Oh, I regret my choice. The shrine is quiet. A presence nearby with thin strings. Hello. Okay, so she does have some strings. The voice was not yet in sight. I shifted, moving away from the door to appear as if I hadn't thought about it at all. I hadn't even noticed there was a door there. All right, we're walking towards the voice. It's me. Here at this time of night, did you lose something? No, I just couldn't sleep. You're also out right now. Do your priestess activities take place so late? No, I couldn't sleep either. No dark bags. Does the bedding at the inn not suit your taste? Futon was comfortable. I see. Mattresses, beds, futons made little difference. Between the aching and the strange nightmares, I often woke much before my intended times. Falling asleep wasn't the problem. Staying asleep. Quietly, we listened to the rustling of the wind. Conversation halted just like the rest of the world. The town at night was blanketed in tranquil darkness. You're investigating someone, aren't you? Mikami Itoha. Oh, she knows. It's not worth searching for her. That woman is long dead. That woman. Was it all right for the priestess to speak to her relative with such detachment? We held a very private funeral for her. Maybe that makes people doubt her death. Why so private? Tradition, religion. She's buried in the cemetery, so you should go pay your respects to her grave. I did. Okay. That tree looks young compared to the rest. Was it planted recently? My sister and I planted it together. Oh, cute. Sounds like you get along well. Yeah, but it's more complicated than that, huh? Twins, although they share the same appearance, they have very different first impressions. Do I know either of their names yet? Can I please know your name? I'd met siblings of all sorts, similar and different, those who mourned each other and those who murdered each other. Identical twins are still rare. They choose to wear the same hairstyle but different fashion. I mean, to be fair, that hairstyle is just long. They're not like styling it the same on purpose. They just aren't styling it really. If they were to swap clothes, I wondered if I could tell them apart. I bet you could. How old are you? 22. You can't ask a woman her age. 22. Still young. So we're older than her. I don't remember if it said our age. Is that so? Of course. Old enough to drink for 2 years. A legal adult for 2 years. Is the age of majority in Japan 20? I guess so. 2 years younger than me, so we are 24. My birthday passed while I was in a coma, so it feels weird. Understandable. She waited until I left the shrine. Understandable. Sleep came instantly and I did not dream. Hell yeah. I love to not dream. I still don't know either of their names. I assume the two priestesses are the two dateable characters. Stringless God. I love to Google search the weird, small town thing. 2-sentence long Wikipedia entry. Hell yes. Site with bare styling, doesn't seem to use any popular website templates, promoting the worship of the stringless god. Okay, this seems like a good lead. Funded by the Mikami family, but they could not hire a web designer. The dated look in parts of the website and the more modern components on other pages made the website appear halfway finished, abandoned. A countdown timer. The time to salvation. Okay, maybe it's a cult. The timer did not tick, the numbers did not change. Naturally, whatever salvation was would never come. Oh, I see. I understand. It's not a real timer. Salvation was an easy thing to advertise. A right-click inspected element, nothing particularly interested in the HTML. It's just a placeholder. People are displayed in a 2-column layout, no familiar faces. Mikami Yasunobu, the head of the shrine, married a woman whose name was not listed and had 3 daughters. Wife died 25 years ago, and he is single. Okay, Site hasn't been updated in 5 years. All external links lead to the tourism pages. Fair. They're still paying for domain name hosting, though. I mean, it doesn't cost that much to keep a domain name. Mine is like, what, $15 a year? Not a lot. Jotted down some notes. No one else needed to read my handwriting. Wait. Vacation planning. True. We probably should just have some fun on vacation. Alright. Oh. It's saying that we put it in the wrong notebook. That's what it is. Let's go to the tourist spot. So many backgrounds. Okay, so everybody knows our deal, so they're just gonna tell me about her, I guess. That's convenient. She passed away of heart disease after her father. It runs in the family. Grandfather also had a few heart problems. We were close friends back in the day. Shame she died so young. Is Toha the, mother? I'm glad our priestesses are healthy. They didn't seem to have inherited the genes for the heart issue, even though they look so similar to her. Priestesses are despondent. Okay, so that is probably their mother. Were they close? The only people allowed to go to the funeral. You couldn't go to their grandfather's funeral either. Fair. You know I'm still upset about that. Don't let this depressing talk drag your mood down. I heard you know Shoko. That girl went to the city, didn't she? Hell yeah. Itoha was always a bit sickly. She ever go missing? Missing? No one ever reported her. City folks have interesting imaginations. Not much happens when you're sick around here. People don't get spirited away. She was often bedridden, so we didn't see her much, especially when her condition was bad, but she was around. I heard it was heart disease? Oh, yes. No one could have predicted it would take her so soon, even though she was ill. Be sure to stay healthy, young lady. Young people these days sit around for their jobs. It's not good for you. It's okay. I'm a detective. I'm on my feet. Hell yeah. Hello. I love that. Even though there's, like, most of the artist backgrounds and the sprites themselves are very static, I love the, staging. Like, that's fun. Hello. I still don't know your name. She wrapped a black string around her finger, twirling it back and forth till the string fell off. When she flicked the darkness, it vibrated. Okay. Oh, okay. She is literally touching the strings. can't touch the strings. The string density in this town was low. Hello, detective. So, okay. So they are legit confirmed supernatural. They can fuck with the strings. So I imagine that most likely the string density is low because they are, in fact, for real cutting threads. Which is insane, and I think that Mana should be freaking out a little. Do you know my name? No, you didn't tell me. Mikami, I got that. I'm afraid I have no idea. Do your best, detective. Oh, okay. She's not going to tell me. People are interested in you. You're a sleuth, so everyone thinks you've got some sort of interesting case and wants in on the gossip. They're happy to answer questions, but the more you dig, the more likely you'll upset people. You won't be able to stay in this town if that happens. Fair. I'm also interested in you, you see? Tugging at a black string behind her back. Do you think it'd be better if everyone got along? I didn't hate the idea of not seeing them, assuming I wasn't working as a detective anymore. I'd be out of a job in that case. True. The question wasn't about strings. On the surface. It for real was, and also she probably knows. Everyone in the world getting along is a criteria for utopia. Some religions promise that when you die and go to heaven, everyone in this world will get along. People's hearts aren't that simple. Why do you say that? I'm not saying that free will and getting along are incompatible. It'd just be missing something. There's always someone you get along with better than another, unless it's a boring world where everyone is the same. No one is special, so no one is unspecial. The good emotions that people have wouldn't matter anymore either. I don't mind our world right now. Could maybe do without the getting stabbed 23 times, though. People fought, yelled, and resorted to violence. Sometimes they were arrested, sometimes they just died. As someone who followed black lines, I saw these people a lot. But the incidents that made it a detective's table were abnormal to start with. Normal people could fight and get along without bloodshed. Their relationships might get severed, but they might grow stronger from the process. A world where no one is special, huh? I agree with you on that. I wonder, a world where everyone gets along, a world where no one feels special towards other people, would be lonely. Are you a philosopher, detective? Not at all. Is there something troubling you? Just philosophical questions. She tugged harder at the black string in her hands. She let go. The resulting undulation running down the string made me wonder what physics the thin black followed. The movement eventually stopped. I don't know why our character is so, chill about this. I mean, I guess she kind of assumed that it was real. I tilted my head in confusion, forgetting that she couldn't see. What time is it? Just past 3. I'll have to go to make it to my appointment. I do like chatting with you. Are you free for dinner tonight? Okay, yes, absolutely. I'd like to go for the other one, but I'm not gonna say no. Yay, hee hee yay. She's cute. One of these days I should learn her name, especially if we're going to dinner together. But I guess her name wasn't on the website. Only presumably her father's name? Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. Can I get your name, at least? Can I ask some questions about the shrine? What are the beliefs behind the worship of the stringless god? Strings. I mean, I gathered that. Okay, she's touching something invisible, so she can see more strings than I can. Human bonds are tied by strings. They come in unique colors for each and every emotion. Interesting. So she can probably see red strings, too. Do people need strings to feel? In fact, these strings are nothing more than puppet strings, like a spider's cobweb trapping its prey. The strings manipulate our feelings. Interesting take. For example, rejection and disgust. Thus, the strings must be removed for people to be free. How? Because they're strings that can be severed. Yesterday, you may have seen our ritual. The priestesses of the stringless god can cut the strings between people. The intent is the removal of all strings, purification. Okay. One string at a time. Okay. So purification is when the last string is severed. Interesting. So they are a cult, however, the thing that they're discussing is real. Like, this is a real physical thing. Like, even if it was a shared delusion. Well, no, the possibility is still there that because we were predisposed to associate them when we saw the other priestess playing with the string, we could have been substituting that into our minds. So it is possible that it isn't real. But it seems unlikely so far. Because, like, we're not part of this town. We came in already being able to see this. But also, and I don't know if this is this priestess's personal view or if this is just what the religion believes. But there isn't necessarily any indication that they're puppet strings. So it really comes off as a bonds control us too much, so let's sever them. But she is all for the severing, and the other sister does not seem to think that they should be severed. Or at least she's not fully sold on the matter. I can see them. Yeah. All of them? Hell yeah. She touched one of my strings. At least take me to dinner first, like your sister's doing. A thin gray string to somebody I vowed never to talk to again. She touched it, twisting it in her hand before letting go. My heart started to race. She wasn't lying. What do you think? Is she asking if I agree with her outlook? What is she asking? I assume so. Maybe. What color is the string of hate? Black. I mean, yeah. That's a given, though. I feel like... What is the breadth of human emotion? Will we lose something or gain something if all strings are cut? Nothing will change, but your emotions will become your own. Okay, so it's not that you will stop feeling it, but you will stop being tied to that person. I feel like that only works in some cases. Like, hate, I feel like it makes sense to tether it. If you still hate them after, that's just yours personally. Other kinds of emotion, I would think it would be on a case-by-case basis whether you sever them or not. But that also is interesting if she's claiming severing them doesn't stop you from feeling. So she could hate tons of people, but we just can't see because she severed them. The Godkeeper might have originally had 1,000 strings, and maybe she still feels that way. Don't know. Would you like a world where everyone got along? Yeah. Okay, so they have very different outlooks on the matter. Wouldn't it be nice if there could be less sad things, less reasons for people to be hurt? Be a happier, kinder world. That's true. She yearned for a dream, the happy, kind world, a shining and beautiful world. I really like this, actually, because it's a fun dichotomy. Because she comes off as the serious, even in their attire. She's literally wearing a blazer, and the other girl is wandering around blindfolded. But their outlooks are reversed. Whereas she's the idealist who wants everybody to be happy and care for each other. I think that's really fun. I don't know their names yet. Not a kind person. Sad. It is interesting that she can see more than us. We're not interested in seeing more than we can, though. We're not even a little bit asking about other strings. I have to go inside, but you're welcome to follow if you'd like. I have an appointment soon. With your sister, correct? Oh, if I had said no to the sister, would I be able to hang out with this one more? A person's writing could reflect their soul. What kinds does hers have? She had beautiful handwriting. Menus. Little cupcakes on every table. Are those free? Can I eat one right now? Quaint little restaurant with a bell on the door. Hello. She sat not too far from the entrance and waved at me, so she can for real see me. But, like, not literally. That's really interesting, and I'm astonished that we're not even touching that. I assume it's through strings, but would that mean that if somebody was stringless, she couldn't see them? I don't know. How was your doctor's appointment? Went well. Okay. Do you need help with the menu? No, thank you. I'm familiar with the menu. How was your day? I visited the shrine. Was she the priestess there? Yeah. I see. I assume she's usually there. I'd like to order 1 curry katsudon. Okay. Could I get the taco rice dish? Nice. Do you like taco rice? It's alright. I like ordering it sometimes, but I was in a katsu mood today. Fried food is yummy. Good things taste bad, but bad things taste good. What the fuck does that mean? Cute. Why Itoha? I'm doing this for somebody else who is important to me. She can't do it herself anymore. She cared a lot about Itoha, and I care about her. Shoko, my mentor, my friend. I could never meet her again, but I wanted to fulfill her wish. I can understand the sentiment of doing dangerous things for the people you love. I'm mostly trying to keep out of danger here. I'm sure you'll be fine. I had a talk with your sister who told me about the local religion. You're also a priestess, but I don't ever see you around the shrine. Could you tell me more about the stringless god? I'm not much of a priestess anymore. I don't participate in the activities. I'm blind. Okay, so you are blind. Can you also see strings? Do you think I can see? Who knows? So is she literally blind? She did say that we're pretty and she can interact. She clearly can still... she can feel the strings even if she can't directly see them. So she wouldn't need to be able to see. But Mana said that the strings are less like sight and more like a sixth sense that is just being attributed to sight. So even if this priestess can't actually see, she could still see the strings with "see" in quote. But I wonder about the blindfold, if it's just I mean, it could be a recent injury, and so she needs it to keep her covered for health reasons. But it's also entirely likely that it's a symbolic thing, so that everybody remembers that she can't see, and also to distinguish her from her sister. She's obviously well known; everybody knows her. But if she lost her vision recently, like it seems like she lost it within the last year, then she probably still needs a lot of adjustments, and people who grew up with her might forget. So maybe it's just a symbolic thing so that you always remember, hey, just so you know, I can't see you, so be careful, you know. She doesn't seem... Okay, so she is... My sister really believes in this stringless god. Did her name change from priestess to blindfold girl when she said she's not a priestess anymore? Can we come up with something better? The Mikami family is deeply intertwined with the shrine, so you'll find out about both if you keep looking into Itoha. But I can't answer your questions. You got a bit of sauce on your lip. Wow. Did I get it? Yeah. Tex-Mex Okinawa. Tex-Mex Okinawa? Crazy? I don't know what that would be like. Sounds like fun. Why curry went well with tonkatsu. I don't know a lot about Japanese food. Oh, we've been hanging out so much it's dark out. My treat. No, let me pay. I invited you for dinner, so I'll pay. Also, she's probably loaded. Let her pay for you. My God. Take me out on a date next time if you want to pay. Just kidding. If I have a chance then. Yeah. We are flirting with the priestess in front of the townsfolk. No idea their small town folks' opinions on homosexuality, but they're not going to be mean to their priestess. That would be crazy. So I think it's fine. All right. I like her. I'm more interested in the other... Well, no, I'm interested in both of them. The other girl is the... If I have a choice, I would probably choose to pursue first. But story-wise, it seems more natural to go for the blindfolded one because she's more open with us. So pursuing the more mysterious character feels like you'll learn more information that way. So it feels to me like a second route kind of thing. But if this weren't also a mystery game, I would probably go for her first. All right. Going out for a stroll again. Are we going to run into one or both of our priestesses, or are we going to meet the God Keeper? Or are we going to meet somebody new with a sprite? Probably not. Oh my God, there's so many backgrounds in this game. This is really cool. I love this landscape. What's my screenshot button? It's right there. I love this, like, sort of jagged path along the water. It's gorgeous. Shoko. Oh yeah, Shoko lived here, but we haven't asked anybody about her. No strings to no people? Not necessarily. Didn't the guy who stabbed you have no strings? Crunch. No, you're being followed. Oh! Oh, I forgot there's monsters in this. It seems so grounded, and then all of a sudden there's a fucking thing. What is it? It's like a squid, and it's got red strings. A monster. The music does not match this thing. A monster made of man and darkness stood in the forest, crunching away at something unknown. Drip, drip, drip. Nothing fell to the ground, but the sound echoed in my ears. Okay. How close are we to the shrine? My breath turned to... Really the song should have switched to something else. Because this is calming me down, and I think it should be doing the opposite. My breath turned to cement in my throat, cold sweat rolling down my neck. Suddenly my scars began to itch. It hadn't seen me yet. That man also looked like this. A monster. Darkness. Red and black darkness. Two mouths is very fun. Okay. As long as I stay quiet. Was I so exhausted I could hallucinate monsters? We are truly just quietly walking away. That's funny. Did they really exist? Even the black strings of hate I saw were just an extension of human emotions. They were human through and through. What if... I hated this. That man, the man who tried to kill me and haunted my dreams, I remember what he looked like on that terrible day. He looked like a monster. It wasn't the same monster, but he looked like that. Okay. Interesting. I thought we couldn't remember what he looked like. Why did a monster appear before my eyes? What was I seeing? Contemplated how I couldn't outrun a snail. Oh, right, because she was brutally attacked with a knife. She's not very athletic at current. So yeah, we're tiptoeing away from the monster. Oh, okay. If I... Ooh. Also, I love this. I didn't even think about it like that. We're very eye-focused, huh? The golden eyes or the hidden eyes? I'm going for her. Hello. You seem more likely to be able to protect me for some reason. Which is a little fucked up. Oh, good. Wild animal? It was nothing. Are you having a nighttime walk? Suppose I am. My sister likes taking walks in this forest. You're close to your family? Not at all. I had an older sister who I didn't care for in the slightest, and my father wasn't much to talk about either. Oh, okay. Itoha was their older sister. Father's eldest daughter, his younger twin daughters. What's your father's name? Yasunobu. Hmm. I mean, I knew it, but how old are you? I'm not going to examine that right now. Okay, the rickshaw puller says that I was the lightest customer he had all day. Nice. Let's not go outside at night anymore. Well, I guess it's good we didn't go to the cemetery. I mean, maybe the cemetery would have been fine. Shoko, your secret lover got eaten by a monster. Okay. I mean, I was thinking it. We are so cool about the fact that we just saw a monster. I guess we are assuming that it's a trauma response, and that it didn't really happen, but it for sure really happened. Hello, Godkeeper. Gods are like bees. Talking about the Mikamis again. Glad you've been getting along with our priestesses. I'm dating one, I think. I heard they had an older sister. Pretending not to know. Yep, that was Itoha. It's virtuous of you to ask about her for Shoko, but I'm afraid she passed away many years ago. She died of heart failure. Yeah. The woman who Shoko yearned for. Yep. Even if some brought up suspicions on Itoha's death, no statements had come forward to show signs of her continued life. There's no reason to think otherwise. But all will be well soon. Scary. The day of salvation will be among us and the dead will be revived. That's not what your website says. At that time, you can speak with her as you wish. I hope we can trouble you to stay with us. Oh, you're talking real soon. When, your website doesn't say, so can you be more specific really, really, really fast? Yeah, we might be mass murdering. Yep. A lot of ways to kill a bunch of people. Yeah, the priestesses seem like normal people, but they also probably have been brought up in this their whole life, so they may not. It's difficult to say how entrenched they are. The revival of the dead. Perhaps Itoha was in hiding, so her return could be. Ooh, okay, interesting. That idea is better, but still a little scary. It's also possible that the Keeper is true, but that would be even scarier. There's a gathering later today. Ooh, she's performing a purification. I do actually want to see that. We know one person with just one thin thread. That's the innkeeper. Probably isn't gonna be her, but it would be interesting. And then we could directly observe the after effects. I would be hesitant about going to any gatherings after hearing that, but I do think that we should see a purification. Alright, we're going back to the cemetery again. Are you dead, Itoha? Itoha was in her 30s when she died. Based on her birth year, she was a few years older than Shoko. Why did Shoko say she was missing? She died around the time Shoko last visited her hometown. That was 5 years ago. Shoko wouldn't have been able to attend Itoha's funeral due to its private nature, but she should have known about the death or been informed afterward. The reality was that we lived in an age of technology and easy communication. Next, I wanted to look at Shoko's and my matters. Shoko died around 3 years after Itoha's death. 3 months after Shoko's death, I was attacked. Sounded like an isolated incident, but he did come from this town. Okay. The next major... Oh, no. What if purification turns them into monsters? Or makes them vulnerable to monster attacks? What if the I'm a little nervous about the purification ritual, but I guess we'll find out. The relationships between people, specifically the Mikami family, Yasunobu. 3 daughters, Itoha, the blindfold girl, and the priestess. None of them resemble him. They resemble each other. They resemble the mother? Yeah, they don't share the same mother. Is curious. Doesn't seem quite right, as in it is physically impossible unless the website is wrong, and the website could just be wrong. But if they're calling out that they don't have the same mother, then I am led to believe that they don't. The twins obviously must. Shoko, I'm starting to understand why you didn't get anywhere with this, but couldn't you have left me any information? No black strings, but the priestess could have cut them all. What happened to you, Itoha? Did you really die from heart problems? Of course. So I have a concern about where the storyline is going, but it's not in the content warnings, so I'm not going to jump to conclusions. Alright. We also don't know literally anything about the mother, so. Cooled my head while walking up the stairs. Weather is nice. Despite my slow pace, not many people are here yet. The place is rather pretty. Should take some photos. Try for a selfie. Oh, oopsie. Fast footsteps. Oh, hello. They are fighting. She rushed out from behind the corner, the priestess chasing after. She grabbed her hand, arguing loudly. Let go. Not until you talk to me. There's a reason I didn't want to cut strings anymore, but you know how that turned out. If subtle doesn't get through to you, the answer is badly. The answer is badly. Is this... Oh. Following up on this sentence. Not cutting strings anymore went badly. You can... Did she go blind because she stopped cutting strings? You can blame me, but you shouldn't do this. I love you, so why can't you understand? I don't know the names, so I can't call out. Well, she noticed me. Wait. Was it my fault that she lost her sister? I watched as she went out of sight, and there was silence. I looked away, knowing full well that I couldn't pretend to not have heard, but I don't know what it's about. Hello, detective. You're not gonna follow? No, I have a job to do. My sister. What's your name? Towa. Okay. I love in Japanese media when they tell you how their name is spelled. I don't know if this is the thing people actually do in real life, but it's always very fun. I don't know how to write the kanji for eternity. I can't do anything with that, but it's fun to know. Was this... Can I get to the credits from the menu? No, I didn't think so. I'm curious if this game was originally written in Japanese or English. It has an itch page, so I assume English, but I have it on Steam, so I don't actually know. Towa. Mana, spelled with the kanji for love. Cute. I didn't know it could be read that way. Mana. She spoke my name as if testing the sound on her lips. I'm sorry I went on a date with your sister instead of hanging out with you at the shrine. You're so cute. We're the only people here right now. The trees rustled and the birds chirped, but no one would interrupt our quiet but ourselves. Mikami Towa looked up at the sky. I have to get prepared. Okay. People begin to gather. The beekeeper appeared at the front to make some announcements, giving a reminder about the thread-cutting sword dance. Was there something strange? My eye twitched. Towa called for a townsperson. Okay, one single black string. So we know that there are other kinds of strings that Towa can see. But it's interesting that, and we've seen her cutting them, even if Mana couldn't tell what string it was. It's convenient that they are doing a black string for this purification, so that we can actually see it happen. Then she cut it. She cut the black string I had once thought to be inviolable, at least not in this way. Beautiful. I met her eyes. One string turned to two pieces with the slightest sliver of gap appearing between them. It began to fall, dissipating into black specks. It disappeared. He cried out in gratitude, clasping his hands together as he dropped to his knees. He is pure. An air of joy swept over the crowd. He began to applaud and fell into a prayer. Hobbling to lean against a tree, I pressed my palm against my left eye. Something is wrong. Buzzing noise. Cut. Oh, I don't know Morse code. Ooh. Something happened. You look a little pale. I really want to see where this goes, but I actually have to head out right now. Can I save? The menu is a little laggy. I don't know if it's just my computer. I am going to pause for just a second, and I'm going to try and be back, because I want to see the fallout of this purification. Give me just a little bit. I will return shortly. returned. Okay. Alright, let's get back into this. Because I do want to see where this is going, and I have a feeling something's going to happen to the guy that we just purified. Well, not us. The Toa purified. They usually go talk to the keeper after purification. Okay. There's another happening tomorrow. Today's was a black string, hatred. We saw the same thing, these thin lines that linked people. She saw and cut, and the color in her eyes was the same as in mine. Actually, I can also see them. I don't know whatever came me. I haven't told anyone about this. I hadn't even told Shoko. Because this girl had the same madness as me. I had a feeling. What do you see? How do you see it? I can only see the black strings. There are varying thicknesses and transparencies, but in the end, they're all just strings of hatred. It's convenient for my job as a detective. There are plenty of people who commit crimes who hold strong negative emotions towards the victims of their crimes. I reached out towards a black string in the air and my fingers passed right through. But I can't touch them like you can. I'd never even thought about it before. I had always thought that strings weren't meant to be cut. They're untouchable as human bonds should be, only affected by people's thoughts. To me, it's really rather strange that you cut them. They're false, you said? You see more than just black strings, right? Not just hatred, but other emotions? Yes. Then why do you cut the kinder feelings, too? It's freedom. Everyone is happy when I cut their strings. Your sister's not here. What does getting your string cut feel like? Good. Would you like me to cut a string? What an intimate thing, allowing someone else to touch and cut your emotions. Yeah. I have to finish up first. You can follow. Yeah, I will. Hell yeah. Slipping off our shoes at the entrance, we made our way to a room with an altar. She retrieved a matchbox, striking it twice to create a flame, and relit the candles in the altar. The flame wobbled, a haze drifting out from the altar. The air danced with colors lit by a tiny, minuscule fire atop an austere candle. I breathed in a sweet scent. Kneeling before the altar, she prayed. Her eyes were closed and her hands together. She silently communicated to her God. The candlelight seemed to grow brighter and stabilize. The haze disappeared. She stood up, returning to my side. What's the candle's scent? Fruity? Not quite. The candle is scentless, eh? Interesting. Is it a special ritual? What was I smelling then? We do it daily to send light to the stringless God who is trapped in darkness. It's a special prayer and a special way of conveying gratitude. The job of a priestess is to serve the stringless God. Your sister doesn't do it anymore? No. Shiki. Shiki! I've got her name. She doesn't perform anymore, but she's still a priestess, as long as she's willing to... Is Shiki her name? Yeah. Aww, she loves her. How is it written? The character for string and the character for hope. Oh, okay. The same string as Itoha's Ito. Toa's name doesn't have it. Interesting. Yeah. Beekeeper! I'm happy to see you two getting along so well. The gathering outside is wrapping up, and I hadn't seen our guest around, so she was in here. How did you enjoy the purification? I hope you were able to view it from a good place. It was interesting. That person, he's stringless now? Toa told me that you met with him after the purification. Yes, I was talking with him just moments ago. He's been freed now from the chains that bound him. For this, we have to thank our priestess's hard work. Are you interested in string cutting? She offered. It should be a private affair, then. String cutting is a holy event. I'm overjoyed that you've decided to partake in the blessings of the god. She made a movement with her head as if she knew something I did not. I'd like to offer you the chance to explore the workings of the shrine while you're here. Our priestess won't mind showing you around. Thank you for the offer. Perhaps I could find out about Itoha's relation to this organization. Keeper glanced at my golden eye, our gazes meeting for a second, which caused me to look away. She had no strings for me to redirect my eyes to. You have a golden eye like our priestesses. It suits you. Thank you. No, thank you for coming here. I'll take my leave now to give you to privacy, but please do take your time. The first cutting is very special. I hope you'll enjoy it. No one will come in until you finish. Giving both of us a bow, Keeper left, closing the door behind her. Shall we cut a string now? Do I get to choose which string to cut? Could you cut a black one? I'd like to be able to see what happens. Which one would you like? Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. This is, what thick darknesses do we have? Let's cut a thin one because I'm worried about what it'll do to us. But I know we mentioned having a thin string with somebody that we don't ever plan to talk to again. And if we don't ever plan to talk to them again, then why not let them go? The thin one over here. I didn't want to risk something important being snipped away. These strings are my feelings towards someone. Who do we hate, though? I'm really curious. How does cutting the string affect the relationship? Cutting it makes people more true to themselves. Feelings disappear? If they were fake. You have few strings, Mana. I liked her voice. I want to hear her call my name more. Was this the second time? Is that a good thing? It's a good thing. What about you? How many strings do you have, Toa? I don't know. I can't touch my own strings. Oh, okay. But can you see them? You should sit. The light in the altar seemed to flicker. She took the string between her fingers. She cut. The string broke, a gap appearing as the pieces fell down the side. It seemed to dissipate into dust before my eyes. Ah. A strong wave of comfort swept over my body. The world seemed to brighten and float, everything becoming terribly pleasant at once. I felt a presence gazing down at the light. Then, snapping back to reality, I found myself holding onto her shoulders for support. How are you feeling? Her voice reached my ears as a murmur. Good. She smelled soft, and her touch was gentle but reserved, as if she was hesitant to hurt me by accident. Even so, she helped me up. Her presence tempered the intensity that had struck me upon the cutting of the string. I couldn't help but wonder, did the stringless god exist? I could tell why people liked this. But just because it feels good in the moment doesn't mean it's actually a good thing. Okay. The day went by and I didn't think about Itoha at all. Now Toa was on my mind. Pretty eyes, pretty voice, pretty hands. Although Toa had said Itoha was her older sister, she didn't treat her as such. Thinking about Toa, I found my heart skipping a beat. Okay, alright. I mean, you've been on a date with her sister is the more troubling part of it. Then again, it wasn't really a date. We were just flirting. I'm trying to think if I've done something to put myself on this route, or if we are still going to be just seeing both of them. Difficult to know. But I have a feeling now that we've seen a purification that something bad is going to happen. And I don't trust that it felt good in the moment. Time to get drunk. My string had been cut. I no longer felt much. Okay. So, it does affect the emotions. As expected, it was creepy. Was Itoha stringless or missing from her grave? I still don't know. Getting a little tipsy. Traced over the many, many scars that lined my body. The tissue was still a harsh red, a sign of their recency. They'd always be rough. Even my heart had a scar over it. I felt a bit sad because I wouldn't be able to go to many places. Let's not get drunk, just because, well, something bad might happen if we do this. Let's go to bed. What am I doing? I would be scared with this direct openness to the outside. Especially if we've already seen a monster. We are not examining the fact that we've seen a monster. No dreams. Nice. Discomfort is no worse than usual. Alright, let's get back into research. Itoha. Mother died a long time ago, over 22 years. Before, the website said 25. This just says over 22, which is still too long for that to have been the twins' mother. Itoha disappeared after high school. Until over a decade ago, she disappeared off the internet. I would like to learn more about the shrine. Hello, Shiki. Hello, detective. Good morning. She did a circle around me and hopped back. My sister cut a string for you yesterday, didn't she? Yes, did she tell you? That's a secret. Would you like me to mend it? Oh, okay. You can do that? Only for recently done ones. I do want her to put it back. Sure. Will your sister be upset? Thoughtful of you. It's okay though, she'll know it was me. A delicate butterfly knot tied it together. A repaired dark line. Mending felt like nothing. I didn't like him, so that's it. This should be a black string. You can see it? I can't see, but I know. Mana, Shiki, good morning. I came here because I wanted to talk to you, but I suddenly don't know what to say. Is it about what we were talking about yesterday? I know I can't change your mind. You won't be able to change mine either. Just don't get into trouble, okay? That's my line. Maybe. Cutting strings, that's what you choose to do. Detective, don't get her involved in anything either, alright? Or else I'll be upset. Aw, they care about each other. We already know this. Toa made a half step after Shiki, stopping and reaching for her watch before shaking her head. Good morning. Could I trouble you for a bit of a tour? I wanted to learn more about the shrine and the stringless god. Sure. We walked into the shrine building from the same door as usual. Going through the hallways and rooms, Toa explained the history of the shrine. The building had been constructed originally centuries earlier. When she was very young, the entire land was renovated, and the Ikami family put in quite an amount of money. I thought about the door I saw on my first day. They weren't the original keepers of this land, but they've been in charge for generations. This was a holy land. As for what, Toa only mentioned the presence of the stringless god. Why do you believe in the stringless god? Because I can see the strings. Could Itoha also see them? I don't know. That woman is a holy woman, but I don't know. They didn't talk, really. Could I talk with the person who's being purified today after the purification? I'd have to ask Keeper. Alright, it is time for lunch. Hello? Woman without strings. Oh. She probably has one, but it's not a black one. Okay. This is the last string binding you. May the blessings of the stringless God be with you on your path to freedom. She spoke with a clear voice, holding on to the string that must have been reflected in her eyes. My gaze was drawn to her slender fingers that held such power. With a sharp movement, she cut the string. The townsperson shook with joy, crying out as she fell to her knees, hands clasped together in grateful prayer. She is pure. Ah. Okay. So again, we are affected by the feeling of the purification. Toa mentioned you wanted to meet with the purified party after the purification. As such, I'd like to invite you inside for a talk. What were your thoughts on the ritual? Amazing, again. And about our priestess? Yeah? Oh, I like her. I'm glad to hear. I followed her inside the shrine building, entering again the familiar altar room. Bowing at the entrance, she left. Oh, hello. Candle flickered. Something warped in my vision. Oh. She collapsed face first, head smashing to the ground, limbs limp as they hit the floor with a bounce. I heard a crack like the sound of cartilage. The air thickened, becoming like syrup as I tried to process the sight before me. What? I dropped my phone in panic, hearing the impact of the case on the ground. I rushed over to check if she was all right. She made no sounds. I rolled her over, forcing my hands under her, and searched for breathing or a pulse. I found neither. She dead? I had to do something. I stumbled backwards, tripping as I grabbed my phone. Vertigo overtook my body, causing my phone to drop again. Buzzing filled my ears and forced my twitching hands over them to block the noise. For a fraction of a second, I heard an angel. Something began to change. Her body twitched, convulsing at the chest once, twice, thrice. Yeah, it's happening. You really could use some scary music for these portions. This music is like really lighthearted. I like it, but it does take me out of the mood. Ooh, creepy. A tiny darkness broke through her flesh, tearing out of her like a creature born from an incredibly soft egg. It was hatching. A monster. Yep, that's what I figured. A dripping darkness crawled out from its egg and was born. You're very special, Shirasagi Mana. Okay. Oh no, why did we black out? When I opened my eyes, I was outside mingling, eating a cookie. Oh goodness. Oh, and she's right there. Oh, she's right there. Uh-oh. Toa, can you not see that? Toa, can you not see that? Toa, why can't you see that? Why? The monster, black and red tearing out of a human body, was standing amidst people like nothing was wrong. It had claws and teeth and terrible eyes, but no one seemed to see. were monsters and humans standing together in the circle. No, this is reality. If I hadn't had much more horrifying matters to worry about, I would be unnerved by the stringlessness. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear at this point that they are connected. Do you believe in monsters? No, there's no such thing as monsters. Just screenshot that. I think I have to go. What is it? Toa. Toa. She likes me. So we're just, not even a choice. We're saying yes, but, a cute girl asked us out and we immediately forgot the fucked up thing that just happened. Guest slippers. She's got cute cats. They hire a caterer. Of course, they have a personal chef. They're loaded. Yeah, I can cook because I live by myself. We like rice. Rice is good. It's not rice tonight, though. Cheeky. Toa. And the detective. We are having dinner together, the three of us. So it's not a date. We're having dinner with both of them. Oh yeah, their parents are dead, so they can do whatever they want. What's being a private investigator like? The details aren't great to talk about over food. I'm not under the jurisdiction of police departments. I'm typically hired by private individuals. There are plenty of folks who work with attorneys in cases, or even just help investors look into ventures to keep their clients out of fraudulent deals. I mostly deal with violent crimes and kidnappings. Due to that, I often do work with the police, but some of them, especially the police detectives, aren't a big fan. I'm in charge of my own office now, but I used to work with a partner. Are you interested in detectiving? It's always good to have another set of eyes on the team if I could steal you away. Thank you, but I'm just gonna be a priestess forever. Cheeky? Do you still want to be a novelist? I'm surprised you remember. It's just an old dream now. I'm going to the bathroom. Want me to go with you? We are too old to go to the bathroom together. The toilet paper's the wrong way around again, and the pump on the right is hand cream, not soap. No. I'm moving soap back to the right place, okay? Sorry. Cute. What's the right way? Cheeky says it should be over. I don't really care, but when we were younger, we got in a big argument to the point that we just stopped using the holder. Very fun. It's pretty inconvenient. So we compromised on using the wrong way. That's kind of you, since I'm the older sister. You're twins. Can I ask something unrelated? I'm worried about asking about this one. Also, the way it's worded, just openly say, hey, so that wasn't your mom, right? No, I want to know about this. Was your sister always blind? Never mind. Sorry for asking. We're identical twins, so the color of our eyes is the same. There wasn't any reason for her to be born without eyesight. Shiki had the prettiest eyes because they were always shining. She's someone who gives me hope. Not like the gods' hope for freedom and salvation, but something warmer that only family can give you. It's my fault. Oh. Uh-oh. She was punished by the stringless god and... Okay. So she didn't get sick. Somebody did this to her. Because she chose not to cut strings anymore. Ooh, that's really fucked up. Okay. Honestly, both of you should have dipped out immediately after that happens. But I understand that it's not that simple. You're investigating Itoha, aren't you? Itoha is dead, but you don't believe it to be so simple. Why are you investigating her? I'm searching for the truth about Itoha for this person's sake. My mentor, Shoko. She's dead too. She grew up in this town, but moved to Taito for work. I don't know if you've ever met her. She's a bit older than both of us, but younger than Itoha. Itoha was a very precious person to her. I'm the only one who can do this for her, so before I die, I wanted to find out what happened. A strange person who greatly resembles you two. Your sister? Shoko. I wonder if I knew her. Itoha once had a close friend, but Shiki and I didn't know her well. Just that there was a person that woman would talk to. The only person she would talk to. Since that woman never had strings... Never had strings? Never had them? Never had them. None at all? I didn't know what she felt about her friends. No, maybe they weren't friends, but something else. Okay, alright. I'll accept that as fact. You've made it very clear. Itoha and Shoko were together. But then that person stopped coming. Itoha really did die, at least as a human. Okay, so she died. And she didn't have strings, so she could be buried there. Would you like to stay over? Yeah. Are we going to talk about the monsters? Ever? Are we going to talk about what happens? Or are we just blocking it out of our head? After a quick tour, Toa led me to a guest room. I think we might... I don't know if the routes diverge at some point, if they've already diverged, or if we just get different endings based on who we're closer to. We're very Toa-centric right now. I don't know if it's just because we had her break a string, or if we did something else. It's a little like a sleepover. I haven't stayed at someone's place my age before. I haven't either. I'll have to return the favor and invite you over. Alright, so we like Toa, so we're clearly on Toa's route. But what about Shiki? I wonder if, I have to do something really specific to get Shiki. I've made a couple choices that are more towards Toa, but I didn't think I made, more. In the middle of the night, I jolted up in bed and gasped, grasping at my chest, feeling the rough texture under the cloth. I couldn't remember what woke me up. I checked the time. I hadn't slept very long at all, but those two probably were in the realm of dreams. I could close my eyes again or get up. Ooh, I think for safety's sake I should dream, but I gotta know. The halls were dim and silent, enveloped in quietude. Most of these rooms were unused. I cracked open an unfamiliar door, peeking in and found a study of sorts. Nearly tripped over an item on the floor. Whoa. It's a book. A journal squeezed in the cracks. Yasunobu. Okay, let's steal that. Picture of a woman. This was her wife, Itoha's mother. She doesn't look like the girls at all. Okay. He wrote of daily affairs, a lamentation on Itoha's poor health, and how special she was. The lights. An ice pick? Why are you holding that, Shiki? Oh, she probably thought there was an intruder or something. I don't mind you investigating, but don't do things that might get Toa mixed up. Is that a threat? Maybe. My sister's a kind girl, but there are terrible things in this town. You shouldn't throw that stuff at people. I know. I suppose I missed. So I'm firmly not on Shiki's route, I guess. Shiki wants me fucking dead? I thought we were getting along. You asked me on a date and everything. Okay. I'm gonna pause it here. We have learned a lot. I'm assuming the reason we're just glossing over the monster stuff is because we don't want to believe it's true. But, like, even the music, I don't know if that's just because they didn't get any scary songs. I'm surprised they wouldn't, since it's a horror-themed game. Can I... Is there a button directly for the title? Title screen? Main menu. It's a little laggy. I don't know if that's my computer or if it's the game itself. It is just Renpai after all. No extras? I have to beat the game for extras? I've seen a couple CGs, but that's not enough. Yuri Games, Monsters and CGs by Aku Akorin. Eric Jeffrey Ton soundtrack. Okay, so they're all Jam Edition music. Am I playing the Jam Edition? I don't actually know. I assume not. Because I got it on Steam, so I assume I have the most recent version. Okay, so yeah. Backgrounds or assets. No, but we do also have a background artist. Difficult to say. Anyway. Really, really interesting game. I'm gonna pick it up again next week. Hoping to push through to an ending, which seems likely to be Toa's ending. And I just noticed she's holding a sword here. Is that literal, or is it because she cuts the strings? That's really interesting to me. But yeah, really interesting game. The writing is so good. It really puts me in the mood. The only thing I'd say is that the music sometimes takes me out of scenes which probably should be horrifying. And I am curious why our girl is a little more chill than she should be about some of the fucked up stuff she's seeing. I guess because it's not her first time seeing a monster, she had sort of forced herself to believe that that was just a guy. But she is like really kind of letting it go, which I think is an unsafe thing to do. yeah, I will be coming back to this next week, and we're going to find out what's going on. I'm a little worried about some parts of it, but only one way to find out. All right. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's not what this is. This isn't study session. This is just a blind Let's Play. All right.